A UFO was seen over LaGuardia Airport. We've got that and a lot more to talk about today, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, let's just get right to it.
Michelle Reyes was flying over New York City with her daughter, and she was sitting by a window. When she did what a lot of us do, we, take pictures out the window. Nice video of the New York skyline. It's an amazing view. But what Michelle did not expect to see was a cylinder-shaped object zipping across her line of sight near LaGuardia Airport. Was it a bug inside the plane, maybe? Well, she played the video back to look, and no, it was not a bug. Whatever it was definitely outside the plane, and it was flying on its own, and it was really, really fast. Michelle Reyes joins me now exclusively, and I want to welcome back Ben Hansen from UFO Witness on Discovery Plus as well. Michelle, thank you.
Yeah, so there you go. You can listen to the full interview with Michelle at your leisure, and Ben. Always good to see Ben, but yeah, a great sighting, a daytime sighting of a UFO over LaGuardia Airport. Really awesome. And News Nation is really crushing it on the UFO stuff. Here they are talking about the Las Vegas alien. Check it out.
We can take a video and look at whether or not there is an artificial artifact added to it or not. And in this case, we can definitively say, to a degree of scientific certainty, that this entity, this thing in the video, is there in the physical reality in which the Kenmore family is also there. Like, this is so critical because you can clearly see through the slots in the fence that there is a leg motion moving from the right to the left side of the screen. And clearly it is behind there. So this isn't just like a head floating in space. This is a head of that is somehow that does not have full opacity, that the opacity of the head of the shadow is only at about 33% opacity versus a normal shadow, which would be at 100% opacity, or an object in the screen, which is at 100%. And this isn't anything that you did. It's just what you were able to determine, that this shadow being, or this being in the shadows, possibly creating its own shadow or smoky filter or cloaking technique, is not only cloaking itself from the people there, but cloaking itself from the camera itself, in that it's minimizing our ability to identify pixels inside of that shadow.
Amazing stuff, guys. So yeah, the Las Vegas sighting, the Las Vegas incident with the alien in the backyard was real, and that shadowy shape that we are seeing is actually a being. Well, a being cloaking itself with some very fancy technology. Speaking of shadowy beings, there's an interesting Reddit post talking about the shadow beings that some people encounter on ghost hunts and in paranormal encounters. And I've come across these. I haven't seen one with my naked eye, but we had security cameras on a ghost hunt, and we had multiple shadow being sightings captured on camera. So yeah, these things are real. I don't know what they are. So any insight I get into this, I love to dig into. And so let's check out this Reddit post. These mysterious apparitions are described rather simply as being shadows in the shape of people. They are typically described as being featureless black, sometimes with glowing red eyes, and sometimes wearing a wide-brimmed hat. Shadow people are seen almost exclusively while one is experiencing sleep paralysis. Not necessarily. Witnesses report a feeling of absolute dread and fear when a shadow person makes their presence known, oftentimes appearing in the victim's doorway or near their bed. Yeah, and it's interesting, the security camera footage that we have that I would love to show to you, that I can't show to you for legal reasons, because it's owned by the homeowners, and they have forbidden us to share that. It's always going through a doorway. It's actually passing a hall with some doors. So yeah, really interesting that it's going through that doorway that leads to other doors. Anyway, so yeah, interesting thing here. So witnesses report a feeling of absolute dread. This may be largely due to the fact that during sleep paralysis, one cannot move any part of their body, despite their mind being awake and active. This renders the sufferer helpless and vulnerable while the dark figure lurks around the room. The question as to what shadow people are remains unanswered. Many theories have been put forth. The spirits of those who have passed, ET beings, simply our minds playing tricks on us, demons, among many other speculations. Scientists suggest that shadow people and other strange visages are seen during an episode of sleep paralysis or hallucinations caused by your mind not being fully conscious. And while sleep paralysis is a thing, and I guess people can see stuff during those times, I think a lot of sleep paralysis are actually paranormal events. There were sleep paralysis reported in that home that we investigated. They had a lot of paranormal activity that we caught on camera, and that their security cameras caught on camera. Their security cameras caught a lot of this stuff, including multiple shadow being encounters. So not hallucinations, whatever they are. I don't know, but let me know what you think in the comments below. Meanwhile, there's a brand new episode of The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch. That's right, episode 1 of their new season has just dropped, and it's a good one. They send a couple of helicopters over the triangle in the airspace they call the anomalous zone, because a lot of funky stuff happens around the triangle and above the triangle. And so the two helicopters, Eric Bard is in one and Travis Taylor is in the other, and they're trying to send signals to each other to see what would happen if there was any interference from the anomaly. And of course there is. The signals aren't going to the responders, and also the GPS data is all wonky. Looks like the helicopter is blipping out of existence and going somewhere else. It's really intriguing. At the same time, there were multiple UFO encounters during that incident. So is it the anomaly over the triangle that's causing the interference with the signals and also the wonky GPS data? Or is it the UFOs that are showing up to cause this? We don't know at this point in time, but it's very intriguing. I can't wait for the next episode. Meanwhile, Ross Coulthart gives us an update on the David Grusch op-ed. He says the op-ed is coming. Not a lot of detail there. This is from his Reddit page. Ross Coulthart has his own Reddit page, and he is Brush Pass. Interestingly, he also commented on Jason Sands. He says, I do not have enough data to form an opinion one way or the other. I do think a lot of his story rests on whether the people who were with him during his reported incident are prepared to support his account or dispute it. And that's kind of what I've been saying. We really need some heavy hitters like David Grusch or Michael Herrera, Lou Elizondo, somebody like that to come out and publicly support him. It's great that James Fox is supporting him, but we need an insider to come out batting for him, for more people to take him seriously. But I definitely think there's enough from what we've seen to try to evaluate his claims objectively and not have a knee-jerk reaction against him. There's definitely something there. He is who he says he is, and he had the clearances that he needed to have those experiences. So, is he an insider that is, making stuff up, or is he delusional in some way? We don't know, but he is who he says he is. So we just need to listen to what he has to say and use our own discernment. But it would sure help if some heavy hitters came out in support of him, just like Ross is saying. Meanwhile, Dr. John McDowell, who won the equivalent of the Nobel Prize in forensic science, is now saying the Nazca mummies are not human. I love it. I love it.
Specimens that we've examined, some people call them embodied mummies. I'm going to call them specimens. Specimens are real. There are humanoid characteristics, anthropologic findings, osteology, bone analysis teeth analysis that say that these are human or human-like, the ones that I've evaluated. There are some that are clearly not human. Just let me put it that way.
Okay, the audio is really bad, but he says there are some that are clearly not human. We've got bodies, y'all. We've got bodies. Meanwhile, Lou Elizondo is taking to Twitter. He is replying to Carl Tremblay, who says, resolving the Nimitz case will close the debate. Either we create Lou Elizondo and Grusch a golden statue and make offerings to them on our knees, or UFO Twitter will become an embarrassing symbol for a long time. To which Lou says, Carl, if people think this is about me or Dave being right and people dropping to their knees, they have missed the whole point of our endeavors. With all due respect, our purpose is to get people off their knees and stop worshiping the fake narratives we have been told. We are not heroes. You are so wrong, Lou. You are a hero. We are simply public servants finishing the job we swore to do many years ago. We serve you, the people. You are and have always been our boss. It's a shame more government don't see it that way. He also says to those criticizing him for writing a book, I don't know why people are criticizing people for writing books. We need people to write books. We need people to put this stuff down in writing. Absolutely 100%. And if they make a buck off of it, good for them, guys. We need to incentivize disclosure. But Lou says to those critics, we have had 7 years, you have had 7 years of my efforts for free, which have nearly bankrupted me and my family, and lived in a trailer for nearly 2 years. Never asked for a dime from you. Don't want to read my book? Please don't buy it. It's my unfiltered experience. Not asking you to buy or do anything. Well, I'm going to buy a copy, Lou, and I may buy an extra. He also talks about what it means to be human. Being human is subjective. The question of what precisely defines a human has not yet been answered. Is it that we all look the same? Is it we all share common values? Or is it something far more profound? Is it a spiritual connection or perhaps a common consciousness? Not trying to be overly woo here, but most people who consider themselves human don't usually act very human at all. Is there something about us that makes us unique? Or are we part of a greater river of like beings that define what it is to be human? Maybe being human isn't a human thing at all, but part of a much greater existence. And he said similar things before. Really makes me wonder what he knows and what he's had access to. Meanwhile, did you know that Billy Carson was an experiencer? I didn't know he was an experiencer. I've listened to him a lot, and he had some interesting things to say. I don't usually cover much of it, but I did not know he was an experiencer. So let's give a listen.
And I'm looking at sports about 9 o'clock p.m. All the lights turn dim, the TV turns off, and I thought my kids were playing a trick on me because they lived up in the room behind me up on the second floor. And I look up, and there's nobody there. When I turn around, there were these two beings right there.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. And, man, hold on.
Whoa.
Sorry.
No.
What do you have big freaky something, man?
No.
So they were right there. I'm sitting in a chair about this high, so they were right here in my eyes. And
Yo, Alex is freaking out right now. Like, what the fuck? This is wild. Okay.
All right, let me get myself together.
No, take your time.
So they were there. They had the big almond eyes like you see on TV. I swear they did.
So you're two beings in front of you.
But they didn't look like they were real eyes. They looked like coverings of some type. And they didn't communicate with me through any kind of telepathy that I could tell, but I felt like my brain was shaking in my skull to the point where it started hurting, and I started screaming, but no sound was coming out of my throat. I can feel the air coming out, but I couldn't hear it myself.
And you were awake during this period? You weren't taking a nap or anything like that?
Taking a nap, no psychedelics.
Of course, yeah.
And my whole house, everyone was in. My wife at the time, my ex-wife was in the bedroom right behind the next wall. My girls were in that side of the house, a split floor plan. My boys were in that side of the house. The house was full of people. Nobody heard us or anything. I was screaming. A few seconds later, it stops, and they turn around, and they don't walk like a person. They kind of dangle. So they kind of dangled away, and they went right through the wall.
Okay, so there you go. There's Billy Carson's experience. He seems very genuine, and I totally believe that he had this experience. It's interesting if this is a one-off, because typically experiencers are lifetime experiencers. But there are one-off experiences, and there are people that start having experiences later in life. So I'm very curious which one Billy is. But either way, I thank him for sharing his story. Meanwhile, does Elon Musk know about UFOs? He claims he doesn't, but John Bell may have evidence that he's lying his butt off. Check this out. This is Elon Musk's satellite train being buzzed by UFOs. You'll see a line there. Yep, there's one. This line of lights is the train of satellites. And yep, there's another UFO. Yeah, John gets these amazing captures out there in Florida. Go check out his channel, Real Florida UFO, where he has so many UFO captures. One that hit his truck and rattled his multi-ton truck. Others that perform really interesting maneuvers, possibly even trying to communicate with him. Great stuff, great stuff. But here we go. I will play it again. There is the first UFO that seems to be buzzing the satellites. Can the satellites see that? There's another one. Are they blind to these UFOs, or are they observing this? And Elon is just lying his butt off about it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Last but not least, we've got a big snake for you guys. Check this out. You think it's an anaconda? You think it's a python? That ain't no python, guys.
Oh, no.
Yeah, where's a snake charmer when you need one? That was a king cobra, guys. That was a king cobra. That was insane. That was a huge king cobra. My God. But let me know what you think about that and everything else covered today in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure appreciate it. Smash the like button and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media. Links below if you wanted to support the channel. Grab a t-shirt in the merch store or become a channel member, because channel members are rock stars. And I really do appreciate you guys' support. Thank you. Meanwhile, there's plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.